James Bond. Hello, my fellow Bond fans, and welcome to another Bond review. Yes, after quite some time, I decided it was time to return to the world of James Bond, despite the fact that No Time to Die, the latest movie, is delayed. But never mind about that. I think it's better to just wait until October and see what happens on that. But anyway, I decided to review my first James Bond video game. Yes, I re-reviewed the original movies, well, in preparation for No Time to Die, but of course No Time to Die is delayed. So until then, I thought, why not step into the world of gaming and review Quantum of Solace, the PS3 version. Quantum of Solace, obviously based on the Daniel Craig movie of 2008, although it does feature some material from Casino Royale as well. And the plot is basically the same as the movie, so I'm not going to go into too much about the plot, but on the IMDb page, I'll just read as follows. James Bond battles the evil Quantum organization, as well as a new enemy. The game is directed by Adam Gascoine, and it's adapted from the two movies, obviously, Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. So, Quantum of Solace, how does this fare? Well, I just want to state this firmly. I am not a huge gamer. I play a bit of games, I dabble here and there, but as far as James Bond is concerned, I have delved into a few of the video games, and I will be reviewing most of them. As for Quantum of Solace, I think this is a good game. I enjoy it. I think it is genuinely quite fun, although I don't think it's perfect. I think Quantum of Solace as a game is very fun at first, and it definitely takes inspiration from the Call of Duty series. However, it does feel quite dull, repetitive and monotonous after a while. There's only about 12 levels, and basically all the levels are exactly the same, despite the location. So there is a lack of kind of Bond-esqueness about it, other than, well, the locations and the soundtrack and the actors. So as far as the gameplay is concerned, there is a lack of variety, and I would have appreciated a bit more of that. So you can't even drive the cars. All you're doing is shooting enemies. That's literally it. And even the boss battles are not difficult. This game is not a difficult game to complete. It's clearly rushed, and it was clearly marketed very quickly and rushed in time for the release of Quantum of Solace in 2008. However, I do go back to this game, though, surprisingly quite a lot, because it is actually quite fun to play. I think some of the level designs are pretty cool. Like, we start out in the Quantum of Solace story, and then the story kind of veers into Casino Royale. Like, Bond is telling Camille about the experience. Obviously, in the film, it's much shorter. He just says, oh, I lost somebody, and that's it. But in this game, Bond tells Camille everything about what happened in Casino Royale. So we basically flashback to the previous movie. I guess this was done because they were rushing this game, and they thought, well, it makes sense if we already have one movie to go off. And then, we can just use levels from Casino Royale. But it appears that most of the levels are from Casino Royale, which is a slight problem. I do kind of wish there were more levels with the Quantum of Solace movie. For example, we don't even play the boat chase in Quantum of Solace. We don't even play the aerial chase. The only levels in Quantum of Solace are Mr. White's house, Sienna, the Opera House, the sinkhole, and then at the very end, we go back to the hotel. So the story's kind of all over the place. I think it would have been better just to maybe start the game from Casino Royale and then go into Quantum of Solace that way. I think that would have worked a lot better. I just think from a story point of view, if you haven't seen the movies, you're going to be very confused. Similarly, the game Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End started the game from Dead Man's Chest, because the movies are two parts together. So the story begins in Dead Man's Chest and then it continues in At World's End. And structurally, the game followed that narrative, and it worked a lot better for that. So this is why I think Quantum of Solace could have followed that example, and it would have actually made the story, it would have made a lot more sense to a casual person who probably isn't a Bond fan who would have been playing this game. I do really like the fact that they got the cast to do this. Like, Daniel Craig voices Bond in the game, which is superb, so thank God for that. We also have Olga Kurylenko returning as Camille. She doesn't have too many lines, but when she's there, she's good. Eva Green actually comes back as Vesper, which is amazing, as well as Judi Dench as M, Mads Mikkelsen as Lashif, and Matheiu Amalric as Dominic Green. So we got quite a good cast for this game. They got the big players in to attract the Bond fans. So they've definitely made it feel like the movies, well, to a certain extent anyway. I do think the cutscenes are very disappointing, though. A lot of the times we're just listening to audio of M and Tanner or Bond, and we're showing the sort of virtual screens in which we see in Quantum of Solace, where they're on the table and they're looking at the locations and everything. It's very dull to watch, and it would have been better to have actual cutscenes of people talking. We get that like once or twice, you know, in the game. It's just not enough for me. Like I said, the game is clearly rushed, and it does suffer from that. The cool thing about the gameplay is actually the fact that it combines third person and first person. When you're shooting and killing the enemies, it is first person. However, when you take cover, you go into third person, and also when you try and melee somebody, you go into third person, which is really interesting. The melee's a bit strange. You actually just you press R3 and you walk up to an enemy, and then you have to press a button. So it's like a quick time event, basically. It's still, it's kind of jarring at first, but you get used to it after a while. It is kind of cool. And when you're climbing ladders, of course, you switch to third person. I mean, this actually kind of helped in a way, so I could kind of get my bearings. It is a bit weird at first, because you're not really sure where you are at first. But once you get the hang of it, you won't have a problem with it after a while. Also, the music for the game is great. I like the soundtrack very much as well. And actually, the opening song, which plays during the title sequence, the Nobody Loves You by Curly, I think is a good song. It's pretty solid, and I think it would have been nice to have that in the film of Quantum of Solace. It would have been slightly better than Another Way to Die. That being said, the opening of this game is pretty cool when you're actually in Mr. White's house and you are having to fend off against the goons in his house, and then you have to sort of get the information from his house, and then it ends with you capturing Mr. White and shooting the gun barrel. That would have been a great way to start the movie, but the movie decided to start with the car chase, which is good. Car chase as well, you don't get to play that. You have to watch that in a cutscene. So again, so many missed opportunities with Quantum of Solace, the game, as well. I like the idea of when you start to die in the game, the blood kind of trickles down and the gun barrel sort of forms as well. That's kind of cool. I really like that. That's a nice idea. The graphics are okay. I mean, clearly, like I said, the game is rushed. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks good enough for the time. I mean, it was 2008, so they didn't have the best technology at their disposal. I think it's definitely looks better than some of the earlier Bond games, to say the least. I just think as an adaptation of both Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, it's not quite fulfilling. It feels like more of a video game of Casino Royale, and I'm fine with that, but at the same time I kind of wanted more out of the Quantum of Solace levels, so yeah. And as for the multiplayer is pretty good, although I don't think you can go on it anymore. I think it's been disabled. I did play a few matches with my good friend Jack the Film Fanatic. We used to play online with Quantum of Solace, and it was fun, although it basically felt like Call of Duty. It basically did feel a lot like Call of Duty, just with a lot of Bond areas to it. So would I recommend this game? Yes. If you're a James Bond fan and you have a PS3, I'd say invest in it. It's not going to be that expensive now. It's pretty fun. You could have a good few goes with it. It is quite repetitive after a while. It is a bit dull. It's a bit monotonous, but I think there's enough to enjoy. It's decent, but it is very rushed, and it's not a faithful adaptation of the movies that it's based on, but it's good. It's a good time. So I will give the Quantum of Solace video game, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And bearing in mind, this is the PS3 version, so I'm not rating any other versions of the game. I haven't played them. I haven't played the PS2 version. So, that's my review of the game of Quantum of Solace. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please comment down below and let me know what you think. And I will be reviewing more Bond video games. I do happen to have played the other PS3 Bond games, and I've played most of the PS2 ones. Still got to finish one or two of them. Really stuck on Nightfire. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.